I chose to complete my digital reflection on standardized testing. I chose this because May was when I began my observation hours, which is the same time that SOLs are being conducted in classrooms in Hampton City Schools. During my observation, I got to experience this process, to see the amount of pressure that some of these students undergo. They spend countless hours before the test practicing and annotating, and when the test day comes, many of the students just have trouble completing it due to the amount of pressure that they feel. Yet, these students really do try hard, but when the results come in, it is heartbreaking to give them bad results. During this video, I will be interviewing Miss Basham, a 4th grade teacher at Captain John Smith Elementary School, who has had to undergo the pressures of SOL testing for the last 7 years.
I think they can be if they are handled correctly. The way that the state of Virginia does them, no, I don't think they are effective at all. According to the student's reading level, it was the same skills, but according to reading level, then they'd probably be more effective. I have a teacher here who used to work in Maryland, and she said that the way their standardized tests used to be, I don't know if they still are or not, but when she was teaching, there were 3 different tests for the grade level. They all had the same skills on them, but if you read at this level, between this level and this level, you got this test. If you read between this level and this level, you got this test. So it was on their level, and you can accurately assess, did they learn the knowledge? You can't hand a child a reading test that they can't read the words and expect. Yes, every year, especially here because we're a low-income school. And in the past few years, we haven't made AYP, and it's not because of the teachers. It's just there's not a lot of home support, and we don't know what happens. That child could come into school that day and have fought with their parent or watched their dad beat their mom up that morning and come to school. Do we expect them to take a test and pass it? No, we don't. No. But guess who is still responsible? Yeah. It still comes back. No, because, see, again, it depends on what area you're talking about, though. Yeah. Kids up in Fairfax can pass that test with flying colors, and it's probably just fine for them. Yeah. But these children, it's not okay. Mm-hmm. Having to get an 86% for your school for reading, it doesn't cut it here, because these kids, they don't get the support at home. They're trying to make all these children cookie-cutter children. Yeah. I can remember one time, and this was a bright class that I had too. One time I was doing some test practice with them at the table one night. So we took a passage from an SOL test, from a release test, and I took it back there and we were going over it. And it was called, I'll never forget, it was called the Parakeet Care Sheet. It was like a kid, and he wanted to go get a parakeet, and he was making a list of stuff, and that's what the passage was. Mm-hmm. And I had kids that didn't even know what a parakeet was. So how are they supposed to pass the test? You really do have to, too. Mm-hmm. Here in Hampton, it's not avoidable. Mm-hmm. In many cases, you have to teach the test because we have to show these kids strategies because they can't read, so we have to teach them some way to get through that test. But I try to be as creative as I can. And I would teach multiplication. I wouldn't just show them how to do it. We would first get a foundation where first we need to understand what multiplication is. Yeah. Give a lot of hands-on, so I don't ever, it's very difficult not to teach to the test in Hampton. Well, first of all, I can say don't get discouraged because trends come and trends go. You have to have a passion for it. If you don't have a passion, this isn't the business to be in. Mm-hmm. If you're not willing to learn something new every year, then don't do it. Mm-hmm. If you're not learning something new every year, then don't do it because obviously you're not doing something. Yeah. I would say do as many workshops as you can. Learn as much as you can. Learn about the trends that are going on, and find what you're comfortable with. Okay. And smile. It used to be my first couple of years, because I'm a smiler. I'm like, I can't go through a year not smiling.
I know, they're so cute.
So I, my first couple of years it was smile. But then I thought, gosh, what am I doing wrong? And then, the 5th grade teacher started telling me, because you're smiling. Don't smile those first 6 weeks of school. Lay down the law. Make sure you're fair, firm, and consistent. That's the best advice that I could give a new teacher.
During my observation experience, I can honestly say that I learned a lot. This gave me the opportunity to experience firsthand the SOL process, and also allowed me to experience what it would be like to teach in a low-income school. I am grateful that I had Ms. Basham as my mentor during this process. She had many firm beliefs in the education system and taught me a lot during my only 30 hours of being there. I hope that this interview has also taught each of you something, and has allowed you to form your own opinion on trends such as SOL testing. Thank you for listening.